This is the HaltingWinter podcast. My name is Seth Winterhalter, your host today. HaltingWinter exists to empower small business owners to break free from the daily grind so you can get above your business, so you can soar and achieve exponential growth in your revenue and your profit. Why? Because small businesses don't need to just make small profits. Small business owners don't need to have just small dreams. You can make big money. You can have big impact. It's about you having a purpose, you having the intentionality to dream bigger, and we want to help you do that. And so that's what we're talking about today. We are continuing our series on how to grow your small business through what we're launching, which is called the Accelerator Mastermind. The Revenue Accelerator Mastermind specifically, because every participant, we are taking up to 10 small business owners over 6 months through a mastermind that will double your revenue. That's our goal. We want to double your revenue. We're only inviting business owners in that we believe that we can double your revenue. And so if that interests you, if you're like, man, I would like my revenue doubled, I would love to be considered to see if I'm a business that could do that, then go to HaltingWinter.com/mastermind, HaltingWinter.com/mastermind, fill out the quick form, and we will set up a call to talk and chat and see if you are a right fit. We're talking about the third component that we're going to tackle in this mastermind. Again, I believe that most small businesses, if they just focused on three things, could double their revenue. You'll definitely increase your revenue if you focus on these. The first is leadership. Are you leading by casting a clear and compelling mission to yourself and to your team? Second, do you have a clear and compelling marketing message? Are you speaking to a particular audience and speaking in a particular way that captivates their attention and compels them to take specific action? And number three, sales. This is what we're going to talk about today. Now that I have your attention, what do I do? What do I do now that I have your attention? And too many people, once you get the attention of your audience, once you invite them into now your world, whether that's your retail store, whether that's maybe a phone call so you can sell them your specific products, what happens is you just start talking. You just can't shut up about how awesome your products are. And here's the thing. Again, your products are awesome. That's why you're a small business owner. You believe in your products. You believe in your services. But this is not the way to sell. The way to sell is, now that I have your attention, I'm going to do four things. Number one, I'm going to pay attention to you, the customer. If I talk, it's to ask a question, because you're a customer who's come to me with a problem. And what I need to do now is not talk. What I need to do is listen. Why? Because now you are entering into what is called the doctor frame. That patient has come into your office and you need to diagnose the problem before you start just assuming their problem and assuming that your product can solve their problem. Because here's the thing, you have no idea, even though you worked really hard, hopefully, to write a clear, captivating, compelling message, you don't know exactly what about that message has actually captivated and compelled them. You can assume, because you've thought about your product and you've thought about your target audience and you've thought about the problems it solves. You've done the hard work there, so you can make some assumptions, but here's what you don't want to start selling based off assumptions. You want to start selling based off of affirmation. So what you're going to start in the sales process is the affirmation process. You're going to go, you're a customer, you have a problem. I need to do two things. I need to dive deep into that problem. I need to start asking you probing questions to go, well, what has brought you in? What did you hear in the message that you thought this could solve a problem for you? What attracted you? What captivated you? What compelled you? Let me dive into it. When you start talking about your problem, let me dive into that. Are you saying this? How will this help you? Right? You want to really dive in, and you want to do it you want to do it to really help them. You're trying to get to know this person. And here's what you want to do. You want to listen to keywords and phrases that they're using for two reasons. A, they're giving you information that's going to help you close the sale. And two, you're able to then use their words to affirm what you can do for them. Right? Now, again, I'm assuming that you're a good person and that you really want to help people. You're not just here to sell snake oil, right? You can be very manipulative with this information too. And I'm hoping I'm talking to good people and good small business owners who actually want to help people with their products, not just make money and fleece people. So I'm just assuming that for right up. So I don't have to clarify this all the time. So I hope that you're listening with intentionality to really help them. And so I want to encourage you before you start telling. And here's the problem. The problem with starting sales with "let me barrage you" is that A, you have no idea what's really going to land because you haven't listened. And number two, we're so tempted in sales, especially as a small business owner, because you know your product so well. You're a 10 out of 10 in the knowledge category. They're like a 1 out of 10. And you're not there to educate them. You're there to help them, right? A doctor doesn't need to educate me on all of the doctor lingo. And that's the problem. He's going to use, because he's a 10 out of 10, he's going to tell me in all the doctor lingo about my condition. And I'm just going to fall asleep. I just need to know, is it on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious is it? How serious is it? How confident are you that your plan is going to solve it? And what do I need to do? That's all I want to know, right? How serious? How confident are you that we can eradicate this? And what do I need to do? Not what you need to do. I don't care about what you need to do. I just need to know what I need to do. Do I need surgery? Do I have to do physical therapy? What do I need to do? That's what you need to think about. That's right. I don't need to educate. If you're a I don't know, you're a pressure washer. You run a pressure washing company. You don't need to tell them about, I use this phosphate cleaning solution that, is made in the mines of wherever, by elves and fairies. And who cares? No one cares what you're using. Someone might care if it's organic, or if it's if it's going to hurt their water supply. Hey, this is a clean solution. I could drink this right now and it'd be fine. Great. That'd be, maybe that's encouraging. But be careful that that's why I say it's good to mine. If they in their conversation says, we have this problem and we've talked to a lot of companies and everyone wants to hawk, their awesome product, but we were concerned that it was going to, we have such and such animals on the property and we're concerned, and no one would really help us give us clarity on if this was going to hurt the animals. I just found something that's important to them that I want to be able to speak to. And I want to be able to be honest and be like, these are the chemicals we use. I need to research that. Or, yeah, that's a big deal to us too. And in fact, we went to these lengths to find a product that really is safe for animals. And so, right, if you listen, you're able to, and then you're able to not only serve them well, but you're able to empathize with them and create relationship. People want to be cared for, right? People are nervous about being fleeced. And so if you can listen and create a bond through, what's important to you is actually important to us too. Wow, you just created a bond. You're building trust. You're building empathy. You're building authority. And that's what we're doing. We want to listen so we can hear what's important to them. And so we can speak to that back to them in ways that build empathy and authority. So Sales 101, you have a customer, they have a problem. Have you listened to them to figure out who they are and what that problem is, to figure out what's important to them, to figure out actually then how to sell well to them? Selling is about serving. Can you help them? Can you solve their problem with your product, right? You have a customer, they have a problem. Can you help them? Can you help them by solving their problem with your product? You need to be able to answer yes to those. If you can't, you should feel okay about turning them away and say, you know what, I don't know if we're the best solution for you. I don't know who is. It doesn't mean you have to recommend a competitor. You can just say, I'm not sure. It's okay to turn away a customer if you can actually help them. If you can actually help what they want. And so just be honest with them. And maybe through that process, they go, you know what, maybe that isn't a big deal to us. Maybe, whatever that is, it can be 1,000 things. So, just be honest. And I think that'll come back to pay better dividends for you. So in the sales thing, you want to listen. And then when you speak, you only want to speak things that would actually help the customer. So many times in sales, we start pitching all these features of our product. Oh, it does this and this and this. And they just don't care. That has nothing to do with what they're there for. So you're wasting breath. You're confusing them. You're turning them off because now they have to listen to your spiel instead of just saying, hey, you said this. I'm going to only respond back to what I'm hearing. And if I feel like I'm not closing the sale, there's something there they're not telling you. You're going to be able to, I always say this is you should be listening to both what they're saying and also what they're not saying. If they're not saying, man, if they're not jumping at the sale, then something's not compelling them enough. And it's your job to figure that out. Well, it seems like maybe something's missing. What else? What are you really looking for that you would say, I've got to have this product. Like, this is my problem. And this would help me solve that. What would give you the confidence? So you're mining for information to be able then to address that, so that then they close the sale for them. A good sales process is not about the product. And sometimes small business owners are like, well, my product is awesome. Why aren't they doing it? I mean, I've done this. I have a program I help men with. I help men get physically, mentally, emotionally fit. And I'm like, dude, this is the program. Like, it's life-changing for men. And I was like, why aren't men, signing up in droves for this? And again, there's 10,000 reasons for it. Number one, men hate asking for help. That's the number one thing. Number two, I had to really get better at not just listening, but instead of telling them what I wanted them to hear, like I had to come on their terms and go, okay, well, this is what you're saying, even though I know that this is the important thing. And that's the other thing. You may know something's important that's not important to them right now, but your job isn't to beat that horse because it's going to be lost on them. You really got to listen to where they're at and use their words and their phrases and solve. You're going to solve the problem. Again, a doctor doesn't need to tell me how they're going to do all the work. And he may even know, he may say, hey, we're going to do this to cure this. But then when he's in there during the surgery, he's going to do whatever he sees fit to do the best job possible. That's you. You're going to do the best job possible to serve that customer, because just giving them the one product in one way, the way they want it, that's how you want to sell to them, because you don't want to, confuse them. But you're going to serve them in a holistic way that's going to benefit them the best. You don't need to tell them that, or you don't need to tell them exactly how you're going to do all that, because part of it, maybe at that moment, they're just not interested in. But you know that they should be, and you know that you're still going to serve them that way. But, right, it's kind of like anyway, I think you get that. You don't need to tell them the whole process. I think you need to tell them enough, but you need to be careful. Because you sit in the seat of knowledge. You sit in the seat where you understand more than even they do. And the problem is, if you try to educate them, oftentimes you lose the sale because it's overwhelming, it confuses, it detracts from their felt need. And so try to stay on target. Try to stay on target. So if you're thinking about sales, again, in the mastermind, we go in to a specific strategy that looks at your product, that looks at your customer, that helps you with these things. It helps you really dial in your call to action in the sales process to say, how can we make sales easy on you? How are we confusing it? How are we getting in our own way? Because a lot of businesses are. They don't actually ask for the sale. That's another thing. They ask for it in ways that are very mysterious. You got to really get down to baseline. Clear, easy, quick, fast, boom. How do we make this process as easy as possible? So there's some things to think about. If you're like, man, if you're right now a small business owner and you go, man, we have clarity on how we're going to grow this business. I think we're slaying it in the marketing. We're getting that message out to the particular audience. And in fact, we're getting calls and we're getting people. It just seems like we're not closing. Then we need to dial in and look there specifically. And so that's part of the mastermind we want to A lot of businesses are leaving sales on the table because their sales process isn't as tight as it should be. So we want to help with that. And so hopefully today encouraged you, hopefully it inspired you. If you say, man, that's part of what we need to do to grow our business, I'd love to talk with you. You can go to HaltingWinter.com and set up a time to chat. You can really, the thing I want you to do is consider being a part of the Revenue Accelerator Mastermind. Check it out. Go to HaltingWinter.com, HaltingWinter.com/mastermind, and you can go to that landing page and check out the mastermind and see if that would be a help to you. In fact, just sign up, go to the form, fill it out, and let's set up a phone call to chat. Let me get to know you and your business and see if that would be a good fit. Again, I'm only inviting 10 business owners into it, so I want to make sure it's a really good fit for the 10 that participate. So if that's something that intrigues you, go do it. Take action today. Don't sit around. Don't wait for things to come to you. You be the force of initiative. You be you take the initiative, the drive. You take action, because if you're not going to take action, you're not going to experience people then taking action to come to you. So you be the impetus for the growth and success of your small business, which I know you are, because that's why you launched it. So I hope you're encouraged today, and I hope you tune in tomorrow as we wrap up talking about the benefits of a mastermind. What are the benefits of being a part of a group, a community, to row together? Until next time.